morning, this is Dr. Smith. Normally when I'm sitting at my desk, I'm dealing with discipline. But at the end of the year, all of the students have been so good, so I've had a little extra time to read. This is a book that some of you might enjoy. It's called The First Time She Drowned. And it's a great story about mother and daughter relationships and how difficult those sometimes can be. If you're looking for a great book to read, I truly recommend The First Time She Drowned.
Hello, during my lunch break, I like to try and read. So I picked this book, Caraval, from the Book Bloom. And you can get it there if you would like to read it. I'm going to give you a sample of it. Scarlett has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance. Nevertheless, she becomes enmeshed in a game of love, heartbreak, and magic. And whether Caraval is real or not, Scarlett must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over, or a dangerous domino effect of consequences will be set off, and her beloved sister will disappear forever. It's a great book if you're interested in magic and illusions, and you can get it at the Book Bloom.
When I have free time, I love to read, whether it's an actual book or whether I read on my Kindle. I am about to embark on a journey through this book, Unbroken, by Laura Hildenbrand. It's the tale of an Olympic medalist during 1943 who joined the military during World War II. His bomber was shot down over the Pacific Ocean. He was lost at sea for a long time until the Japanese enemy soldiers picked him up, took him to a prisoner of war camp, shuffled him around, and also beat and tortured him. I want to read this book. It's an epic adventure about the man and his trials and to stay unbroken. Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. I recommend it. This book is lit.
Al fin del día, cuando estoy muy cansada, yo leo. English. I'm reading Harvester currently. It's a great book. As one of the few remaining survivors of the war, Skye and her best friend Ash struggle to live in what's left of a post-nuclear United States. They elude capture by the Harvesters and simply try to stay alive in the world gone mad. After years on the run together, Skye's feelings for Ash develop into a love that is never openly reciprocated. Ash stoutly maintains his role as Skye's guardian, never allowing his emotions to get into the way of keeping her protected.
Go.
Pittsburgh Penguins keep winning games. I'll tell you, if Crosby wins another Stanley Cup, I'm going to lose it. Good morning, everybody. When I'm not angry about the Pittsburgh Penguins, I like to pick up a good book. The book I'm into right now is called Girl Man's Up by M.E. Girard. The New York Times calls it a fierce, tender, and unstoppable tale. All Pen Oliviera wants is to be the kind of girl she's always been. So why does everyone have a problem with that? They think the way she looks and acts means she's trying to be a boy, that she should quit trying to be something she's not. If she dresses like a girl and does what her folks want, it will show respect. If she takes orders and does what her folks or her friends want, that'll show her loyalty. But respect and loyalty, she discovers, are empty words. Girl Man's Up is a brave and authentic debut from author M.E. Girard. In Pen Girard has created a kick-butt character, I had to censor myself, get the book, who makes tough choices, has her friends back, and is done feeling bad about who she is. Old-world parents, disintegrating friendships, and strong feelings for other girls drive Pen to see the truth. And in order to be who she truly wants to be, she'll have to man up.
When I'm not using the Pythagorean theorem or the quadratic formula, I like to read The Serpent King. Dill has had to wrestle with vipers his whole life. At home, as the only son of a Pentecostal minister who urges him to handle poisonous rattlesnakes, and at school where he faces down bullies who target him for his father's extreme faith and very public fall from grace. Find out what happens next.
A Court of Thorns and Roses. When 19-year-old huntress Fair kills a wolf in the woods, a beast-like creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows only from legends, Feyre discovers that her captor is not an animal but Tamlin, one of the lethal immortal fairies who once ruled their world. As Feyre dwells on his estate, her feelings for Tamlin transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie and warning she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae.
Black Flowers, White Lies by Yvonne Ventresca. Ooh, this is a scary ghost story. Lies can come back to haunt you, according to our author. Her father died before she was born, but Ella Benton knows that they have a supernatural connection. And remember, folks, reading is fundamental.
A Court Thorns of The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The story is about a 16-year-old girl named Star Carter. She moves between two worlds, the poor black neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. The uneasy balance between these worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend, Khalil. At the hands of a police officer, Khalil was unarmed. But what Star does or does not say could destroy her community. It could also endanger her life.
A Torch Against the Night, the sequel to the New York Times bestseller, An Amber in the Ashes. Elias and Leia are running for their lives. After the events of the fourth trial, Marshal soldiers hunt the two fugitives as they flee the city of Sierra and undertake the perilous journey through the heart of the Empire. If you would like to find out more, come to the Book Bloom next week and get yourself a copy.
When I'm trying to hide from Hewick and Garrett, I like to hide in the closet and read Book Bloom books, like this one called Waterfall. Most American teenagers want a vacation in Italy, but the Betterini sisters have spent every summer of their lives among the romantic hills with their archaeologist parents. Stuck among the rubble of medieval castles in rural Tuscany on yet another hot, dusty archaeological site, Gabby and Leah are bored out of their minds, until Gabby places her hand atop a handprint in an ancient tomb and finds herself in a 14th century Italy. And worse yet, in the middle of a fierce battle between knights of two opposing forces. There she is! Give me that book! Give me that!
When I'm hiding out in the nurse's office, I like to read Book Bloom books. This is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wrath, a heart-renderer using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crews are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction, if they don't kill each other first. Garrett, are you done in there?
Sorry, I was just reading Rebel of the Sands. Mortals rule the desert nation of Mirage, but mythical beasts still roam the wild and remote areas. The rumor has it, somewhere, jinns still perform their magic. For humans, it's an unforgiving place, especially if you're poor, orphaned, or female. Rebel of the Sands reveals what happens when dreams deferred explodes in the fires of rebellion, the smolder of romantic passion, and the all-consuming infernos of the girl finally, at long last, embracing her power.
When I'm not watching students on the camera skipping class, I pick up my book, Making Faces by Amy Harmon. It's a story of a small town where 5 young men go off to war, and only one comes back. It is the story of loss, collective loss, individual loss, loss of beauty, loss of life, and loss of identity. It is the tale of one girl's love for a broken boy and a wounded warrior's love for an unremarkable girl. This is the story of friendship that overcomes heartache, heroism that defies the common definitions, and a modern tale of Beauty and the Beast, where we discover that there is a little beauty and a little beast in all of us.
So here I am at Fantasy Club, and whenever I play Battleship, I need inspiration, like military strategy and how to attack and how to defend. I get my inspiration from Fearless. It's a great military book, and you can get your copy at the Book Bloom on May 3rd.
When I'm hiding in the library, I like to read The Gender Games by Bella Forrest. Gender Games is about a toxic river divides 19-year-old Violet Bates' world by gender. Women rule the East, men rule the West. If you want to hear more about it, come to the book bloom.
Go.
When I'm in the library, I like to look at giant picture books.
But I try to get him to read real books like This Is Where It Ends. You can find this in the book Bloom. Told from 4 different perspectives over the span of 54 harrowing minutes, terror reigns as one student's calculated revenge turns into the ultimate game of survival.
A Taste for Monsters by Matthew J. Kirby. Let's see what this is about. It's London, 1888, and Jack the Ripper is terrorizing the people of the city. Evelyn, a young woman disfigured by her dangerous work in a makeshift factory, has nowhere to go, does not know what to make of her new position as a maid to the Elephant Man in the London hospital. Evelyn wants to be locked away from the world, like he is, shut in from the filth and dangers of the streets. But in Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, he finds a gentle kindred who does not recoil from her, and who understands her pain. That sounds great. A good book. And you can get one if you come to the book room.
When kids are bad and they get sent out, I make them read.
Boy 21 by Matthew Quick. Basketball has always been an escape for Finley. He leaves a town ruled by the Irish mob, drugs, violence, and racially charged rivalries. At school, he's called White Rabbit for being the only white kid on the basketball team. But when teen basketball player Russ arrives at school after a family tragedy and answers only to be named Boy 21, Finley is tasked with helping him adjust to his new life.
Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welsh. I made the wrong choice. Lena is spending the summer in Tuscany, but she isn't in the mood for Italy's famous sunshine and fairy tale landscape. She's only there because it was her mother's dying wish that she get to know her father. But what kind of father isn't around for 16 years? All Lena wants to do is go back home. But then she is given a journal that her mom had kept when they lived in Italy. Suddenly, Lena's uncovering a magical world of secret romances, art, and hidden bakeries. A world that inspires her, along with ever so charming Wren, to follow in her mother's footsteps and unearth a secret that has been kept for far too long. It's a secret that will change everything Lena knew about her mother, her father, and even herself. People come to Italy for love and gelato, someone tells her, but sometimes they discover much more.